Hi, this is Paul Goodwin with your Cabot Weekly video review. It's been another good week, but not really a decisive week in the markets. We got some support for the markets this morning when good unemployment news in the form of diminishing new claims for unemployment showed up, and markets opened up well on that news. Then, as the day rolled on, we got news that that Deutsche Bank, one of the largest European banks, was raising cash. And although people don't really know why, they suspect it may be because it needs higher cash reserves. So that raised questions again about the health of European banks. But the nice thing about our market timing indicators is that they smooth things out a little bit. So we have the S&P 500 here, and what we can see is that after the big January, February, March rally, that since then markets have really kind of been wedging down. And the other bit of good news here is that if you take the central tendency, which is about here, at this point the S&P 500 is holding above that central tendency, and it's also above its 25 and 50-day moving averages, which, along with our other indexes, gives us a buy signal. If we look at the Dow, we see approximately the same thing. Again, a large high, a large low, and then basically trading in a diminishing pattern, but again above its 25 and 50-day moving averages. The only downside to this kind of signal that we have right now is that it can be reversed relatively quickly, as when the moving averages are moving sideways, it's easy for the indexes to hop over them one way or the other. But we don't look a gift horse in the mouth, and we don't try to second guess our buy signals. So if we take a look at a few stocks here, the cloud computing area continues to be one of the strongest. This is the Acme Packet, whose session border controllers make it possible for people to move from service provider to service provider and from wireless base to wireless base invisibly. A nice pattern here with a nice long base, and then you can see the stock beginning to take off here, and a couple of days of increased volume, which are always good to see. Aruba Networks, same basic business, beautiful advance here, pulls back, and then takes off again, and again takes off on a nice high volume day, indicating that there's some power behind the advance. And then, although it isn't part of the cloud computing movement, Netflix continues to surprise, built a base here and then took off, and there is some huge volume buying here as Netflix continues to show that it can innovate along with the best of them and keep ahead of its competition. On the Chinese front, we have Sohu.com, which is a Chinese website that has a lot of followers. A lot of people going to Sohu.com is the first thing they do every morning to get their news, and has a great social network attached. The long-term trend has been down, but again, we're seeing some little volume spikes that indicate that things might be going Sohu's way for now. So probably not a buy yet, but certainly one to keep an eye on. The fun stock of the day, which is China New Borun, which is basically a distillery. They make food-grade alcohol, which shows up in Chinese spirits called baijiao, and anything from 80 to 120 proof. And then they sell off also the byproducts of the distillation process, including everything from the spent grain that was used in distillation all the way to the carbon dioxide that's a byproduct of it. Stock comes public, goes down, the typical post-IPO droop, then roars back and makes what looks like a very short but a credible cup with handle pattern. So if you're looking for something on the wilder side, take a look at China New Barun, and if it can break out above 10 on good volume, that should be very bullish. Thanks. That's it for this week, and Mike will be back next week. Bye-bye.